Welcome once again to another exciting show from the team here at CruiseAway, Australia's #1 when it comes to finding you the biggest and best cruise holiday adventures around the world. It's Derek and Joe, back again, here to introduce you to the closest experience to below deck that you could ever wish for. We're sailing ultra luxury with Oceania Cruises.
Oh, that's right. Get ready for that spacious, laid-back, immersive sailing journey, enjoying the finest cuisine at sea and indulging in effortless luxury as we journey around the world. We have 3 of their fleet to show you and fascinating trips to the Mediterranean, Oz and Indonesia, taking you from Iberia to Ireland, all with the dream-away touch of extra exciting city stays as part of the experience.
It all sounds like the life we were meant to always lead.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So let us lead you by the hand to our first top-notch package. It's a 20-night Mediterranean allure starting on the 20th of July, where we fly you from Sydney over to Athens in Greece. We'll pause here and take in the amazing tales of old in the city and stay for 3 nights in a hotel, and many tales it has to tell too.
Yes, what a gorgeous and intriguing city, full of incredible energy. I love some of the beautiful street food you can enjoy when you're sort of bouncing from one end of the city to the next. Take maybe a trolley tour of the old town. Of course, don't forget to visit the Acropolis and the Temple of Olympus. Then we're cruising on board with the beautiful Oceania Allura. I mean, my word, this is next level cruising if ever I've seen it. Beautiful ships, but they're much more like kind of decadently designed with modern art and sculpture, very much more low-key, lots of lovely marble floors, wood decking. It's very traditional, yet at the same time refreshing and modern, the aesthetic on Oceania, and with a firm focus on space, more space to lounge, more space to enjoy. Again, that quality of service, as there's much smaller ships, mean that you're going to have a real attentive service culture on board. It's wonderful. What you're seeing right here as well is you can do these kind of bespoke experiences where you might go out with the head chef to actually choose some ingredients for the dishes and then be part of actually creating those dishes as well, as they talk you through. What you just saw there is the amazing art gallery where you have a resident artist that can take you through classes from watercolor painting through to ceramics. So that's quite an exciting part and parcel of the deal.
Talking of exciting, by the way, you are taking one of Allura's very first cruises.
Wow.
Because this is the Allura class, but Allura is actually the second in the class, because Oceania Vista has already launched back in 2023, but Allura herself, brand new, launching in July, and look at your date for cruising.
Those staterooms are gorgeous. I was fortunate to do a beautiful South American trip on Oceania and a few in Europe as well as a guest lecturer, and I had my own balcony and beautiful space on board the stateroom. They're really luxurious, the staterooms. As are the lounge spaces. The food, my word. Whether you're enjoying something in the gorgeous dining room or steakhouse, or you are heading up to the buffet, it will all be on par quality. Like, there's no difference between having a buffet and having those beautiful meals, because it's still that high level of cuisine that you'd expect from this level of vessel. It's so good. The drinks, now you're going to receive, of course, when you're having your dining experiences, your wine, your beers, your soft drinks, your waters are all included with your meals while you're enjoying those as well. And we also have some shore excursions credit included and Wi-Fi. So there's lots of extras already built into your cruise package. Just love the decadent afternoon teas on Oceania as well. And they have a wonderful tea menu, which they'll bring around to you in one of those fancy wooden boxes that you can select from. But it's the petit fours and the scones, and you will feel like you're in a really super classy hotel every single day when you're on Oceania. But, you know, with the luxury and kind of the downplayed element of it also being your home away from home, you know, your cruise ship. So we're cruising out of the port for Athens, Piraeus, and the first port we're heading into on this itinerary is beautiful Mykonos in Greece, part of the Cyclades Islands. It's lovely backdrop of those whitewashed walls of the old town, which is kind of an iconic viewpoint. Then we're on into Santorini. Tira, the capital, is definitely worth seeing. It's absolutely beautiful and bustling with the cobbled old town streets as well. Next up, we are into Valletta in Malta, the Rock of Malta, where you can see the Blue Grotto, the caves, take a little excursion. Again, you have some credit included, so speak to your team on board about that. Then we're on into Messina in Sicily, and this will allow you easy viewpoint to visit Mount Etna or Taormina, or indeed just downtown and see the lovely cathedral while you're there. Grab a cannoli. Sorrento's up next. This beautiful lemon tree lined town is iconic in this part of Italy, and you will just love it. And we're not far from Pompeii as well to visit there. Then we're in Civitavecchia, which is the gateway to Rome since the 13th century. You have got so many things to see in Rome, of course, including the Colosseum, Spanish Steps. Then we're on into Mahon in Spain, which will allow you easy access to see some of, we're on, of course, the island of Menorca here. You've got gin distillery there. Barcelona's next, and this is the Catalonian capital, where you can see the amazing architecture of Antonio Gaudi and La Ramblas for all the street performers. We are next up into Saint-Tropez. Wow, I mean, you're just going to be gawping at those yachts, aren't you, on the harbour? But at the same time, beautiful old town to visit in Saint-Tropez. Now, we're going to disembark in Monaco. We've got a 3-night hotel stay in Monaco, which is actually a country in its own right, one of the smallest in the world, in fact. Now, of course, Monaco has that reputation of being home of the rich and famous. You've got to go to the Monte Carlo casino while you're there. It's one of the absolute highlights. And there's a lovely cathedral downtown, the Prince's Palace as well. Home of the Formula One, of course. You can see the circuit. And just say you've been there and done it and got the T-shirt. You can get a T-shirt, I'm pretty sure, even though it's fancy. Then we're going to fly you back to Sydney after this brilliant itinerary. Wow.
Yeah, it's a joy, isn't it? It's an absolute joy, this one. A really nice, relaxed atmosphere on board as well. Just to talk about the ratio of crew to passengers on board the Allura, you're looking at a maximum of 1,200 passengers to 800 crew, and that is a very, very high ratio indeed. And you'll really feel that attention on you and that availability of the crew, your ability to strike up conversations with them, have a fantastic time and get to know everyone on board at the same time. So this is the ultimate in Hollywood A-lister holidaying, really, isn't it? The flight over to Athens, 3 nights in a hotel there, and then your very exciting 12 nights on Oceania Allura around the Mediterranean in sheer comfort and luxury, ending the cruise in Monaco, staying there in Monte Carlo in a hotel for 3 nights before the flight back to Sydney. Now, this is 6-star all the way in your wonderful balcony accommodation, which is truly delicious as well, by the way. We'll talk about the amenities that are part of your accommodation as well in this offer. And there is the price tag for you. Of course, this is a very elevated experience, hence therefore a little bit more considered. But what comes back to you in terms of holiday experience, oh my word, something like you have never experienced before, and so many inclusions as part of your offering as well. So you're really very unconscious of forever dipping into your pocket for one reason or another, as you might be more familiar with regular cruising, because so much is covered here in your price. Most of all, that more space, more serenity. Now, we have an upgrade for you as well, if you want to have a little look at that, taking you up to a penthouse suite, which of course gives you a higher position on the ship and more fabulous space to enjoy on board Allura. If you have any questions, by the way, if you want to have a further look at more details in terms of the ship itself, 2 things. Our website is always there, cruiseaway.com.au, and of course you can speak to our team toll free anytime you like, 1300 408 764. So if you do have any questions along the way, we will always unlock the very, very best promotions when it comes to Oceania cruises. And bear in mind that there are only very few of these ships in their fleet, and there's a big wide world of people who want to go and experience this.
Yeah, absolutely. This is very, very special cruising experience. Now a trip for Iberia to Ireland and beyond on another holiday of a lifetime. This time 23 nights and 2 city stays included, as well as the Oceania cruise. Now the first of those is 3 nights in Barcelona. We will fly you there on the 16th of May to enjoy the city. Wow. This is a really special place, I have to say. I was fortunate to live in Barcelona, and I have to say it gave me a real flavour for this part of Spain. It's Catalonia. It's full of incredible cuisine, vibrant architecture, amazing different districts which all have their own personality. I love El Born, which is the Gothic district in Barcelona, where you can find loads of lovely tapas bars and the Gothic cathedral. Then you've got Barceloneta right there on the beach. There's the Olympic Stadium. Up in the mountains you have Parque Güell. You also have the Montjuic theme park up there to visit. So tons to keep you occupied for those few days in Barcelona, drinking in the Spanish culture. Then it's time for us to board the beautiful regatta class Sirena from Oceania. She is a lovely ship, and quite a small ship as well, 670 passengers. So it's going to give you that true kind of yachting feel when you're on board a smaller vessel like this. Much more personal service. You know, the spaces are still very generous, considering the ship is not, even though it's tailored towards 670 passengers, it's actually built for a larger amount. So you've got more space basically to lounge and to languish and just to enjoy everything this amazing cruise has to offer. You know, decadent spaces, but really thoughtfully designed as well for your enjoyment. And it's all about enjoying some of the finest things in life. The food, of course, is superb on Oceania, as you come to expect. Everything you could imagine on offer, and you have lots of things included, including your beverages while you're having your meals. Some shore excursions credit, as we touched on before. Your Wi-Fi, your gratuities is standard as well. Now there is tons of enrichment activities to keep you busy. You know, maybe talking you through the different destinations. They fly on world-class lecturers to talk to you about, you know, economy, ecology, all kinds of different subjects. There's also a brilliant library, and this is a nice place to kind of, you know, sit back with a travel guide and just pinpoint some places you really want to see in these ports that are kind of on your bucket list. And you can talk through that with the shore excursions team too. They do presentations to allow you to plan your time effectively and just, you know, get everything in, because you're on holiday, and you can make it work for you as well. I mean,
you can also do a bit of team trivia as well, because yes, you'll buddy up with people, you'll meet people around the ship, you'll strike up amazing conversations, and then you can take on a bit of a challenge as well with team trivia. They actually do Mensa challenges there as well. I'd love to know what my IQ is anywhere near, although do I really want to know? I'm not sure. But there are lots of very, very interactive activities that you can get involved with as well. Of course, the dining is a wonderful occasion. The great thing is, of course, as Joe mentioned, when you're at lunch and when you're at dinner, the wine is flowing, the drinks are flowing, which is fantastic, and that's part of the offering. During the day, again, you know, a lot of the time you're going to be out on shore excursions, aren't you? You're going to be out exploring those places. They'll have shuttles into the ports for you. You'll be in the ports longer as well than a regular cruise will be. So not all of that waiting in line to get off the ship to get to the port. You're straight there, which is fantastic. And of course, in the evening, a rich variety of lovely entertainment as well. It's just completely and utterly effortless. It's beautiful. So let's sail out of Barcelona for 2 weeks.
Yes, wonderful. We're into Alicante over on the east coast of Spain as our first port, where you can easily visit Valencia. It's not too far away. Spain's third city with its lovely, you know, Gothic old quarter. Then we're on into Cadiz in the south in Andalusia for beautiful Seville, and you have an overnight on board, which is great. So that allow you to go to the Alcazar in Granada, perhaps if you wanted to as well, Seville and the larger palaces surrounding. Portimao's next, and that is beautiful Portugal. You're over in the Algarve here. Some of the best beaches on earth in the Algarve, including El Marinho Beach, await you. Then we're on into Lisbon, the capital of fabulous Portugal, where you can ride the wooden trams through the old town and just take in that Portuguese flair and hospitality. Leixos awaits us next. This is the port for Porto, the region where they have, you know, the delicious port wine, which is stored in cellars under the city. So you might want to take a tour to learn all about that. Then it's La Coruña up in Galicia, one of the gastronomy capitals of Spain. And in fact, you can take a food tour while you're here. They do some with the executive chef as well, so check them out. Santander's next. We don't see this often on an itinerary. Really interesting city, where you have got lots of lovely palaces and monuments to visit. Then it's Bordeaux, the wine capital of France. We have an overnight on board to allow you ample time to go and visit some of the world's most famous wineries. I mean, there's so many, just to name a few: Grangeley, Agludet, La Thomé, Begeron. Then we're in Falmouth, and Falmouth, of course, is in the UK, in Cornwall. Absolutely beautiful area of the UK. Lots of castles, lots of lush greenery to see. We're going to disembark in Dublin. And you've got 3 nights to enjoy Dublin, the, of course, Irish capital. What an amazing city this is. Bustling, exciting, Trinity College. You have the Guinness Storehouse as well. You've got to go and try the Guinness in Dublin. It tastes unlike anywhere else in the world. It just is so good, so creamy. Temple Bar, of course. You might want to take one of those hop-on, hop-off bus tours. I always find them quite good to acclimatise to any city you visit. You've got Liffey right there. Maybe a little bike tour. That would be a fun thing to do as well. And, of course, you know, Ireland is full of charm. The people, the pubs, the beautiful, you know, scenery surrounding you. It's a magical place. So here's your overview. Of course, you're joining the ship in Barcelona after a couple of days there. Then you are cruising through fabulous Spain and Portugal, finishing up in France and then the UK before you disembark in Dublin and enjoy some days there. Then we'll fly you back to Sydney, Australia.
And if there's anything else you fancy doing on the way home, for instance, maybe you want a little lavish few nights in London, maybe, after Dublin, and of course we can always make that happen for you as well. This is a beautiful itinerary, quite a unique itinerary, I think, as well, actually, to include so much. And of course you'll be lavishing in the wonders of the Mediterranean with lots and lots of different countries there. Wonderful to just fleet past the UK's coast as well, down in Cornwall, which is absolutely beautiful, and end up, of course, in the Emerald Isle itself. So we include the flight over to Barcelona, a 3-night hotel stay there, and then your 2-week cruise with Oceania, and another 3-night stay in Dublin, and the flight back to Sydney. Oh my word, this is a treat. For those people who really like exploring, this is a wonderful part of the world to explore, and to do it by cruise where there's so much knowledge on board about the ports that you're going into as well, plus a whole host of amazing shore excursions. Now you have got some shore excursion credit coming your way as part of this as well, which will help towards that planning, and you'll be able to attend wonderful live presentations while you're on board to learn more about the traditions and the attractions of these places as the cruise makes its way around Europe. It is incredible. Now if you'd like to upgrade from here, we have ocean view, we have balcony, we have penthouse suites to offer you as well. So there are the prices for those. Again, if you want to know any more about the inclusions with Oceania, it's pretty comprehensive actually. All soft drinks included, all dining included on board as well. You have alcoholic drinks with your lunch and with your dinner. They are included. Full Wi-Fi package. You have some shore excursion credit coming your way. Plus so many other little touches as well. A very, very high crew to passenger ratio. That wonderful service. Shuttle services into ports as well. Open dining in any of the restaurants, so you choose what you want to do. Fitness classes are included. There are more overnights on their itineraries, and you are in those ports for longer, and they're getting into the ports that not every cruise ship can get into. There's very few cruise ships that can get into, for instance, Falmouth in Cornwall in the UK, and it's a real treasure. I know when you think of the UK you think of London, but you have to see Cornwall because it is the most beautiful, picture perfect place. Anyway, listen, I'll let you go and see that for yourself, because we need to go on enjoying the Oceania difference now a little closer to home as we cruise our own shores, as well as Bali, Papua New Guinea and more of Indonesia. 23 nights start on the 10th of March right here in Sydney as you board Oceania Regatta for 20 dreamy nights. It's nice to do it from here as well.
Lovely. Yeah, so easy. And I've been on board this ship. She's beautiful. Look, that's the atrium right there. It's elegance personified, not too fussy, not too overbearing, just the right amount of luxury. That's what Oceania represents for me, for sure. And being able to just hop on an Oceania ship, you know, from our own doorstep, as we mentioned, is brilliant. When you're up there relaxing by the pool, you know, people come around with fruit skewers and, you know, the cold towels. It's those little touches that really make this an elevated cruising experience. You know, your staterooms are ridiculously comfortable as well. Of course, you've got lots of things you don't even need to think about, such as your drinks included when you're having your meals, your shore excursions credit, which we're giving you some of that included in the mix, your port shuttles when you're in the ports of call, your Wi-Fi, all of those things, right?
And can I just add to that as well, because just looking at your accommodation there, which is absolutely fantastic, all room service absolutely included, 24 hours a day, soft drinks replenished. Inside you've got a refrigerated mini bar.
Yep.
With soft drinks in it, twice daily maid service, which is quite nice. Your amenities in the bathroom are Bulgari, which is quite nice.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's really nice.
You've got your internet, of course, that's included, so your Wi-Fi is included. You've got a nice little writing desk there, plush cotton towels, robes, slippers, all part of the Oceania experience, because you might have some evenings where you think this is so grand, but I've had such a busy day in port. I feel like just curling up under the duvet with a good film and room service. And they have an extensive film menu as well. You've got a self-service laundry as well, should you need, if you're on there for a longer amount of time on each floor, which is great. So many things. And open, we mentioned this before, but it's open seating. So I don't want you to think about this level of luxury being stuffy. It is anything but. It is about enjoying the finest things in life, fuss-free. So you don't have to book, because you have open seating in any of the dining rooms, and that includes the buffet, which is anything but a buffet. I mean, it is a luxury dining experience that just happens to be in that marketplace style. So if you want to do that, you want to go and experience lots of different food in one setting, that's a really nice option for you. But yeah, you can do a mixology class as well. You can maybe do some tasting. They have lots of really engaging activities on offer for you, you know, particularly with a focus on arts and crafts, because they often bring sort of resident artists on board or visiting artists to take you through certain classes and new skill. You can learn a new skill. It might just be something like napkin folding, but actually that's one to impress your friends at the next dinner party, and I love that. So we're cruising out of Sydney, and the first port we're heading into is Brisbane, where you might just want to stroll the boardwalk, or South Bank Parklands, maybe visit the Koala Sanctuary, or of course you're not far from Gold Coast there. We're into Airlie Beach next for the heart of the Barrier Reef. Of course, take a helicopter tour if you haven't done it before. That's going to be unforgettable, isn't it? Or perhaps snorkeling out to one of the amazing islands. Then it's Cairns, gateway there to Corunna Scenic Railway, or of course the amazing rainforests that are not too far away, such as Daintree. Then we're on into Alatau in Papua New Guinea, which is really an undiscovered paradise of white sand beaches, crystal waterfalls and beautiful volcanic mountains. We're into Port Moresby next in Papua New Guinea, which is the capital. It has a vast anthropological collection at the PNG to visit a National Museum. That's Darwin. Where you might want to go and dive with the crocs in Crocosaurus Cove if you're brave enough, or Kakadu National Park also is superb. You'll know if you've been. Komodo, well, this is very interesting. This is the natural habitat of the 3-metre long Komodo dragon monitor lizard. And you can see them in the natural environment. We have an overnight then for you in Bali, in Benua, Island of the Gods, Bali. So that extra little bit of time to enjoy Bali by night. It really does come to life in the evening as well. Head to Ubud for some great restaurants and entertainment. Then we're on into Surabaya, which is on the island of Java, Indonesia. Now you have lots to visit here. It's vibrant and sprawling. You've got lots of temples, lots of markets. Semarang's next. And this is your port to visit, Borobudur Temple, which is one of the treasured UNESCO World Heritage Wonders of the World. We have an overnight next for you in Singapore as we and we have 2 nights once we're there, so 3 nights total. So 1 night on the ship and 2 nights in a hotel. A great little mini break to cap off your wonderful adventure through the East. And Singapore's lovely. I always feel every time I visit, it's usually passing through, and I always crave that little bit of extra time in Singapore just to enjoy the gorgeous tropical weather, the great shopping, and the wonderful hospitality. So here's an overview for you. Embarking in Sydney, heading through, of course, some wonderful ports in Oz before we head over into Papua New Guinea, back into Oz, up into Darwin, then we're into Komodo, Indonesia, Benua, Surabaya, Semarang, and finishing off in Singapore with 3 fabulous days before we fly you back home. Where do I sign? Looks amazing, doesn't it? And it comes up on the 10th of March as well, which, you know, is really not that far away at all if you think about how this year has flown by. So if you've been looking for that elevated, upscale experience and you think, yes, this is for me, we're here for a good time, not a long time. What is that rainy day that I am saving for? Let's just throw caution to the wind and absolutely go for it. Then this is a fascinating itinerary, really fascinating actually, combining, of course, the best cuisine at sea with Oceania and so many luxury touches included while you're on board the Oceania Regatta. 20 nights then from Sydney, sailing around our own shores to PNG, to Bali and to other fascinating Indonesia delights as well. End the cruise in Singapore after an overnight on board and stay for another 2 nights in a hotel before we fly you back to Sydney. Oh my word, this will get you on board Oceania for the very first time, because that is the needle in a haystack deal with a luxury cruise line that you have been looking for. There's one fly in the ointment though, I'm afraid. We've just said that on TV and everyone's watching. So if you want to get involved, if you want to be on this once in a lifetime opportunity, this is that needle in a haystack where you get 6-star, beyond 6-star luxury cruising with so much more included in your fare. Moreover, less people. More cruise, less people. Less people, more crew, more attention, more inclusions, all of that open dining, your Wi-Fi, some shore excursion credit, wines and spirits with dinner and with lunch as well, included, room service included, and so much more. Here are the details if you'd like to upgrade from your inside to ocean view. Remember, your inclusions are beautiful. Can I make you a guarantee right now? I know what's going to happen. All of those leftover Bulgari amenities at the end of your cruise, they might just...
Well, they replace them every time, so I'm just saying you could have new ones every day if you want.
Okay. Okay, well...
I may or may not have taken advantage of that.
I don't have Bulgari in my bathroom, I know that. It's amazing. It's all those little touches on a luxury cruise, plus the fact, and we've not really touched on this so far, it's the fascinating people you will meet on board, because people will be travelling across the globe to come and join this cruise in Oz. You know, for us, it's a local cruise, but, you know, for people in Europe and America, you know, they're coming over discovering Australia, which is amazing. So you're going to meet the most fascinating people. I'd imagine there'll be a fair few Americans, North Americans, Canadians
definitely.
on this cruise as well. And that always makes for someone with a good story, let me tell you. Anyway, listen, our time is done and dusted. We can take you, by the way, on every single Oceania cruise that there is, wherever it is around the world. We can put together a package for you. In fact, a lot of them will be right now on our website at cruiseaway.com.au. Take advantage of the amazing savings there as well. Make sure you're signed up to our mailing list, because there can be flash events happening all of the time and you need to know about them. And a good way of keeping track, of course, is joining us on Gecko every day, 10 in the morning and 1 and 4 in the afternoon. See you soon.
See you soon.